The morning I found Karen's $80,000 Mercedes blocking my disabled veteran father's medical transport again, I knew that pristine white SUV was about to disappear forever. And the best part, she'd practically begged me to take it. Picture this. It's 6 a.m. My dad's wheelchair-accessible van is honking. He's about to miss dialysis. And there's Karen, sipping her skinny latte in her kitchen window, actually smiling at our predicament. That smile cost her everything. Her car, her house, her freedom. And wait till you hear what her own husband did when he found out. What would you do if your CAMB president turned your life into a living hell? Drop your worst CAMB nightmare below. I'm collecting stories for my lawyer. Where are you watching from? Texas? Florida? Because if you've gotten CAMB, you need to know the 3 laws I used to destroy Karen completely legally. Trust me. After 47 blocked driveways, revenge served ice-cold tastes even better than you imagine. Let me paint you a picture of how this suburban war started. Because Karen Whitmore Stanton didn't just stumble into my life, she targeted it like a heat-seeking missile aimed at happiness. My name's Marcus Castellano, 45. Construction contractor who made the cosmic mistake of inheriting Grandma's house in Pine Valley Estates. Now, Grandma Rosa was a legend. Back in '92, she fought the CAMB formation with the fury of 1,000 Italian mothers, calling it legalized extortion by bored fascists. God, I miss that woman's wisdom. 3 months ago, I moved in with my pregnant wife Deborah, 8 months along and still teaching 4th grade, because teachers are tougher than Navy SEALs. And my father Anthony, a Vietnam vet who's been wheelchair-bound since a construction accident triggered old shrapnel wounds. This man built half of Phoenix with his bare hands before his spine gave out. And all he needed was a simple ramp to visit his grandkids. Enter Karen Whitmore Stanton, the human equivalent of a CAMB violation notice. Technically legal, but morally bankrupt. Day 3 after moving in, I remember because diesel fumes from the moving truck still clung to everything. This 5-foot tornado of suburban fury clicked across my driveway in $800 heels, trailing enough perfume to violate the Geneva Convention. That structure needs architectural approval, she announced, pointing her French manicure at Dad's temporary wheelchair ramp like it was a crime scene. Her iPad case matched her coral cardigan, which matched her Mercedes, which matched her soul, cold, white, and overpriced. My dad needs this ramp, I explained, watching her tap that screen like she was launching nuclear codes. The committee meets in 6 to 8 weeks, she smiled. The kind of smile that makes sharks nervous. I'm sure he can manage until then. That night, Dad tried the stairs and nearly cracked his skull when his arms gave out. So, at 7 a.m., I rebuilt that ramp with every power tool howling. By 7:15, a $500 fine appeared on my door, the paper still warm from her printer, smelling faintly of entitlement and toner. But here's what I didn't know yet about Karen. She wasn't just some bored housewife playing dictator. This woman was a real estate agent who'd turned our CAMB into her personal lead generation machine. Her white Mercedes GLS 450, with its rules for me vanity plate, serving as a mobile advertisement for her power. She lived in the McMansion directly across from me, a 6,000 square foot monument to bad taste, with perfect sightlines to monitor my every code violation. Her husband Richard owned Stanton Construction, my biggest competitor, though I wouldn't connect those dots until she'd already cost me $40,000 in lost contracts. The woman had a system, refined over 8 years of presidential terror, applied just enough pressure to break you without leaving fingerprints, enforce rules selectively, like a sniper choosing targets, document everything in triplicate while violating federal mail laws. She thought she was untouchable, protected by Robert's rules and her wine-drunk board members who voted in lockstep because she controlled their property values like a suburban puppet master. What Karen didn't realize was that she'd just declared war on the grandson of Rosa Castellano, the woman who once got a city councilman recalled for trying to zone her tomato garden as commercial agriculture. I'd inherited more than Grandma's ramshackle ranch house. I'd inherited her Sicilian temper, her file cabinet of neighborhood secrets, and her absolute intolerance for bullies in any form, especially those wearing coral cardigans and too much White Diamonds perfume. Game on, Karen. You just didn't know you'd already lost. 2 weeks later, Karen declared war on my livelihood with a smile sweeter than cyanide. I was loading my F-250 at dawn when she materialized beside me like Satan in beige polyester, iPad clutched like a weapon of mass destruction. "Marcus," she cooed, her voice dripping fake concern. "We need to discuss your commercial vehicle situation." The way she said commercial made it sound like hazardous waste. According to the emergency CAMB meeting held while I was pouring concrete across town, funny how emergencies always happen when I'm gone, all commercial vehicles now required screening from Street View within 30 days. Daily fines, $100. My work truck, the one feeding my family and paying my mortgage, was apparently a visual terrorist attacking property values. "I'm sure you can make room in your garage," she suggested, knowing damn well it housed Dad's medical equipment and wheelchair van. The woman's perfume cloud was so thick I could taste it. White Diamonds mixed with sulfur. That evening, Dad watched me pace the kitchen like a caged animal, while Deborah stress-cooked enough lasagna to feed a battalion. "Boys playing dirty," Dad observed, his war-trained instincts firing. "Question is, why is she targeting you specifically?" His words hit like lightning. This wasn't random. This was personal. Mini twist number 1. The next morning revealed the answer when 3 Stanton construction trucks parked brazenly on our street, their commercial logos bigger than billboards, completely unmolested by CAMB fines. Richard Stanton, Karen's husband, my biggest competitor, who'd mysteriously won every municipal contract I'd bid on lately. The pieces clicked together like bullets into a chamber. I spent 7 days building an airtight case. Time-stamped photos, GPS coordinates, enough evidence to bury them both. Even captured Richard himself directing crews while parked in the fire lane. The hypocrisy reeked worse than hot asphalt in August. The next CAMB meeting became my war room. I walked into that beige community center. It smelled like despair and instant coffee, with a phone full of evidence and a spine full of Grandma Rosa's DNA. Karen presided from her elevated throne, surrounded by her wine club board members who looked like they'd rather be anywhere else. "I move to address selective enforcement of vehicle codes," I announced, hijacking the projector before anyone could stop me. The room gasped as images filled the screen. Stanton trucks, violating every code Karen had cited me for, dates and times blazing like accusations. Karen's face cycled through 50 shades of rage, her composure cracking like dollar store makeup. "Those are temporary work situations," she sputtered, voice climbing octaves. "Your eyesore is permanent." The board voted 4-1 to uphold my fines, but their eyes screamed what their mouths wouldn't. They knew this was wrong. They were just too scared of their queen to revolt. Yet, mini twist number 2. My real ammunition came from Ethel Morrison, 82 pounds of pure rebellion wrapped in a grandma disguise. She intercepted me in the parking lot, shoving a manila folder into my hands like we were spies trading secrets. "Your grandmother was my best friend," she whispered, lavender perfume masking the scent of revolution. Her arthritis-gnarled fingers squeezed mine with surprising strength. "Rosa always said, the best defense is having better paperwork than your enemies." The yellow documents revealed Grandma's genius. A grandfather clause protecting all pre-existing property uses from future CAM restrictions. Our property had run Rose's landscaping since 1973, making it mixed-use commercial, making my truck untouchable, making Karen's fines toilet paper. Legal knowledge nugget: pre-existing use rights override new CAMB rules. Always demand to see original founding documents, because your property's history is your best legal shield. One sentence can save you thousands. I posted Article 15 on my truck window, surrounded by photos of Grandma Rosa running her business, including one where she's flipping off the camera with magnificent Italian fury. When Karen's Mercedes crawled past that morning, I watched her face contort behind the tinted glass. her mouth moving in what I'm pretty sure weren't prayers. She'd lost round one, but the way her hands gripped that steering wheel told me everything. This suburban dictator was about to get nuclear. Wounded Karens don't retreat. They reload. And my driveway was about to become her favorite target. Karen's revenge started at 5:47 a.m. on a Monday, because apparently evil sets its alarm early. Her white Mercedes sat diagonally across my driveway, like a $80,000 roadblock, while she visited the neighbor whose house was darker than her soul. My 6:30 meeting with the Johnsons, a $40,000 bathroom remodel that would cover Dad's medical bills, was ticking closer, while I waited for cops who arrived at 6:25, just in time to watch Karen materialize with Oscar-worthy timing. "Oh, Marcus, I had no idea you needed to leave. Margaret had a plumbing emergency." Margaret had been in Florida for 3 weeks. I knew because I'd been collecting her mail, unlike some people who apparently steamed it open for fun. The missed meeting went to Stanton Construction, shocking absolutely nobody. But Karen was just getting started. Tuesday, she blocked my concrete delivery, costing me $500 in restocking fees. Wednesday, she trapped Dad's medical transport for 38 minutes, his driver honking while she accidentally left her car during urgent CAMB business. Thursday nearly broke me. Deborah, 9 months pregnant, stuck behind Karen's Mercedes while having contractions that turned out to be false labor, induced by pure rage. Each time, Karen moved moments before legal consequences, and Thursday, I spotted why. A police scanner app, glowing on her phone between Pinterest and Winer Moms. The woman had weaponized suburban technology against us. Friday evening changed everything. Dad held up our water bill with the precision of examining enemy intelligence. The envelope wrinkled and smudged. "Someone's reading our mail," he announced. "See the adhesive? Steamed and reglued. In Nam, we'd have shot spies for technique this sloppy." That's when the pattern hit me like a 2x4. Karen knew our appointments, our schedules, our entire lives, because she was intercepting our mail. I'd actually read about this in some CAMB horror story online. Mail theft was a federal felony, 5 years in prison, but proving it required more than Dad's forensic analysis. Weekend turned me into a suburban spy. Amazon delivered a magnetic GPS tracker that could survive anything short of nuclear war. I installed a hidden camera disguised as a landscape light. CAMB approved, ironically, aimed at our mailbox. The trap: a fake appointment letter from Johnson Medical Group for Tuesday at 2 p.m., placed tantalizingly in the mailbox like cheese for a very entitled rat. Monday's footage was beautiful. Karen, in her $300 yoga outfit, photographing our mail at 6 a.m., before pocketing the medical decoy entirely. I remembered my cousin Tony telling me once that federal prosecutors loved mail theft cases slam dunks with mandatory minimums, and suddenly felt like Christmas had come early. Tuesday, at 1:45, her Mercedes blocked my driveway with the reliability of atomic decay. I let her marinate in her smugness for 20 minutes before approaching with my phone recording. "I need to leave for my appointment," I said sweetly. Her smirk could have curdled milk. "What appointment?" I held up an identical envelope. "The Johnson Medical Group one. Same as the one that vanished from my mailbox yesterday. The one currently sitting on your passenger seat between the Starbucks cups and CAMB violation forms." Watching her face collapse was better than pay-per-view boxing. While she scrambled for excuses, I bent to attach my note to her bumper. "Actually, the GPS tracker," clicking home with the satisfaction of a loaded shotgun. "Drive safe, Karen. Expired tags are expensive, aren't they?" Her registration sticker was 6 months out of date, which I'd noticed while she was busy violating federal law. She peeled out like a teenager caught smoking, leaving rubber and the stench of burnt entitlement. That tracker became my window into Karen's criminal habits. Over the next week, it showed her Mercedes regularly in handicapped spaces, fire lanes, and at the DMV, where thanks to beautiful public records, I discovered her license was suspended from last year's DUI. The woman citing us for violations was driving illegally everywhere, like a health inspector with food poisoning. My contractor buddy had warned me about people like this. The loudest rule enforcers are usually the biggest rule breakers. It's projection, pure and simple. During one of her driveway blocking episodes, while she was terrorizing the Patel family about their rose bushes, I glimpsed inside her car. The glove box overflowed with tickets, court summons, and final notices. Empty wine bottles hid under designer bags, and the whole interior reeked of Pinot Grigio and poor decisions. This wasn't just hypocrisy, this was ammunition. Every citation she'd written while driving on a suspended license was legally invalid. Every CAMB fine she'd issued while committing crimes was grounds for a lawsuit. I'd been playing defense against someone who didn't even have a legal right to be on the field. The war was shifting, and Karen didn't know it yet. She thought she was fighting a contractor with a truck. She was actually fighting someone who'd just discovered her glass house was built on quicksand, and I was about to start throwing boulders. Karen's nuclear option detonated on a Tuesday morning when a white van marked Adult Protective Services pulled into my driveway. The social worker, a tired-looking woman clutching a clipboard like a life preserver, explained someone had reported serious concerns about an elderly veteran being neglected in unsafe conditions. Anonymous tip, of course, but I could smell Karen's perfume on this attack from across the street, where she pretended to water already dead petunias while watching our humiliation unfold. Dad handled the inspection with military composure until they reached his medication questions. Then something cracked. "My boy takes better care of me than the VA ever did," he said, voice shaking, hands trembling. Not from age, but from fury mixed with flashback. "I didn't survive TET to be treated like a child by some..." He stopped, jaw clenched, as the social worker photographed his living space like a crime scene. That night, his PTSD nightmares returned for the first time in years. I heard him calling for his squad at 3 a.m., trapped in a jungle that existed only in memory and Karen's cruelty. 2 days later, Deborah called me from her classroom, sobbing so hard I could barely understand her. "Marcus, someone reported me to CPS. They said I was recklessly endangering our baby, driving dangerously. They showed up at school, pulled me out of class in front of my students. My pregnant wife, who'd never gotten a speeding ticket in her life, was interrogated about her fitness as a mother because Karen had apparently followed her to work, photographing her going 28 inches a 25 zone. The stress spiked Deborah's blood pressure so high her doctor ordered immediate bed rest. False labor struck again that night, and I spent 6 hours in the ER wondering if Karen's vendetta would cost us our baby. That's when I discovered Karen's mistake. She'd gotten cocky, sloppy. Hospital security pulled me aside and showed me footage from their parking garage. There was Karen's Mercedes following Deborah's car for 20 minutes, lurking like a designer-clad stalker. The security chief, a former Marine who'd bonded with Dad during visits, handed me a DVD copy. "Might want to file a restraining order," he suggested. "This looks like harassment to me." But I had bigger plans than restraining orders. I had research to do. My contractor network runs deep in this city. We build houses. We fix problems. We know everyone's business. 3 phone calls revealed Karen's history. 5 different addresses in 10 years. Always leaving after neighborhood disputes. Tommy from Elite Plumbing knew her from Scottsdale. She got the CAMB president arrested for embezzlement, then took over. Year later, she was gone, and 40 grand was missing from the CAMB account. Mike, the electrician, had worse. Willow Creek subdivision. She reported 6 families to CPS before someone proved she was making false reports. Fled before charges were filed. The pattern was clear as a blueprint. Karen was a serial neighborhood terrorist. But the real gold came from Ethel during our weekly intelligence exchange in the produce aisle. "Did you know our Karen owes the CAMB $47,000? She whispered over the bananas. "President exemption," she calls it. Hasn't paid dues in 8 years while fining everyone else for being a day late. Ethel's nephew worked at the title company and had pulled records showing Karen's house carried 3 liens and a pending foreclosure notice. The real estate agent lecturing us about property values was drowning in debt, using CAMB funds as her personal piggy bank. That night, our kitchen became a war room. Dad, energized by righteous fury, had connected with other victims through the VA center. Turned out Karen had targeted 3 other veteran families. Deborah, from her bed rest command center, created a Facebook group that gained 50 members in 2 hours. Victims of Karen became a support group and intelligence network. The Patel family shared how she'd reported their Hindu decorations as gang symbols. The Johnsons revealed she'd called the health department on their daughter's lemonade stand. Even the quiet Korean family posted videos of Karen screaming about their ethnic cooking smells. Every story painted the same picture: a bigot with a badge abusing power to torment anyone different. The CPS investigator returned that week, and I was ready. His name was Jim Martinez, Vietnam vet with eyes that had seen too much bureaucratic cruelty. When he saw Dad's service medals and heard about the APS harassment, something shifted in his face. "I've seen this pattern before," he said quietly. "Serial false reporters targeting military families, minorities, anyone vulnerable. It's predatory." He handed me his card with personal cell number written on back. "When you nail her, and you will, call me. I'll testify about the false reports. People like her make our job harder, hurt real victims." As he left, he paused at the door. "Your dad reminds me of my sergeant. Take care of him, and take her down." The pieces were aligning like dominoes waiting to fall. Financial fraud, mail theft, false reports, stalking, civil rights violations. Karen had built an empire of crimes, thinking her CAMB throne made her untouchable. She didn't know about our growing alliance, our documented evidence, or that her precious annual CAMB gala was 3 weeks away, the same gala where she worked for real estate clients, where she played queen to potential buyers, where her reputation mattered more than her fake designer bags. Ethel had secured us 3 invitations, and I had contractor friends who specialized in audio-visual installations. Karen loved the spotlight. We were about to make sure she got one she'd never forget. The breakthrough came at 2 a.m. on a sleepless Thursday, while I was digging through CAMB documents like a detective possessed. Buried in subsection 47C of our insurance policies, the kind of mind-numbing legalese designed to prevent anyone from reading it, I found the golden bullet that would end Karen's reign. My hands actually shook as I read it 3 times to make sure I wasn't dreaming. According to the CAMB's own automotive coverage policy, any vehicle on CAMB common property could be towed if it met 3 criteria: blocking emergency access, unregistered or uninsured, or posing a safety hazard. The kicker: Karen's driveway, that concrete pad where her Mercedes sat like a throne, wasn't actually her property. A surveyor's error in 2003 had placed her driveway 6 feet into CAMB common area, a mistake no one had caught, because who checked surveys after construction? Karen had been illegally parking on community property for 15 years, while fining others for infractions that didn't even exist. I called Rodrigo at dawn, my best friend since high school, who now owned Rodriguez's Recovery, the most successful towing company in the county. "Hermano, you awake?" I asked. "For you? Always. What's the target?" When I explained the situation, his laugh was pure joy. "The white Mercedes? The one whose owner called my truck's visual pollution at the city council meeting. Oh, this is destiny, brother. Everything by the book, legal as Sunday church. The beauty was in the simplicity. State law said vehicles with suspended registration on public property could be immediately impounded. CAMB bylaws, the ones Karen wrote herself in her power-drunk wisdom, stated the board president must enforce all regulations equally without exception. She'd created a legal bear trap and parked her own foot in it every single day. Her suspended license, expired registration, and illegal parking made her Mercedes a towing company's dream score. But the revelation went deeper. That survey error meant Karen had been collecting CAMB violation fines, while simultaneously violating CAMB rules more egregiously than anyone. Every single fine she'd issued while parked illegally was potentially invalid. Every board meeting she'd conducted from her position of hypocrisy was grounds for a lawsuit. I felt like an archaeologist who'd discovered a tomb full of legal gold. Dad listened to my explanation over morning coffee. his tactical mind immediately seeing the angles. It's like she built a minefield, then forgot her own map, he mused. Pride before the fall, boy. Same in war, same in CAMBs. Deborah, still on bed rest but sharp as ever, added the crucial insight. The gala. She'll park there for sure, probably in a fire lane for her grand entrance. Maximum witnesses, maximum humiliation. The annual CAMB Gala was Karen's coronation ceremony, where she held court for potential real estate clients and renewed her grip on power. 300 people would attend, including local media covering the community event. I spent the next week preparing legal documentation with the precision of a surgeon. Every form Rodrigo would need, every legal justification, every piece of evidence organized and copied. The law was beautiful in its clarity. We weren't just allowed to tow her car, we were technically obligated to once we knew about the violations. As CAMB members aware of illegal activity on common property, failing to act made us complicit. Karen's own rules demanded her destruction. The final piece fell into place when I discovered subsection 47C, paragraph 9. In cases of vehicles towed from common areas, the CAMB board president is personally liable for all fees, storage costs, and associated legal expenses if said vehicle was parked with their knowledge or consent. Since Karen couldn't claim ignorance of her own parking, she'd be personally on the hook for every penny. At Rodriguez's recovery's premium rates, for illegal parking impounds, $500 hook fee, $200 daily storage, plus administrative costs, her Mercedes would generate bills that would make her mortgage look reasonable. Rodrigo and I met at his yard to plan the operation, surrounded by the mechanical poetry of tow trucks and the smell of diesel injustice. "We do this clean," he said, patting his truck's hood. Cameras rolling, paperwork perfect, by the absolute letter of the law. When she screams lawsuit, I want to hand her the statute she wrote herself. We practiced the approach angles, the fastest hookup method, the exact route to avoid any legal ambiguity. This wasn't revenge. This was law enforcement. The fact that it would happen at her gala, in front of everyone she'd terrorized, in view of news cameras she'd invited herself, that was just karma with excellent timing. The gala night arrived, with the inevitability of a judge's gavel falling. Our revolution started in my garage, which reeked of motor oil and righteous fury. Within a week, it became the unofficial headquarters of the anti-Karen resistance, complete with whiteboards, laptops, and enough coffee to fuel a small nation. The alliance grew faster than black mold in a negligent landlord's property. 12 households officially on board, with more joining daily once word spread through the neighborhood like wildfire. Ethel Morrison became our inside woman, maintaining her facade of harmless old lady while gathering intelligence like a geriatric James Bond. "Karen trusts me because I bring her zucchini bread," she explained, eyes twinkling with mischief. "She has no idea I've been recording every confession she makes about dealing with problem neighbors." Jor Patel, our forensic accountant by day and CAMB victim by night, had spent 3 weeks analyzing financial records with the dedication of someone who'd been fined $500 for having the wrong shade of beige mailbox. The Johnsons, a tech-savvy couple Karen had harassed for their solar panels, handled our digital evidence compilation, creating a secure cloud server they nicknamed Karen Leaks. The real coup was Mike Brennan, our mailman for 15 years, who'd watched Karen rifle through mail slots like a raccoon with a real estate license. "Federal postal inspector's been wanting a case like this," he told me over beer in my garage. "Mail theft by an CAMB official? That's Christmas morning for those guys. I've been documenting every complaint, keeping photos of tampered boxes. Your girl's looking at federaltime.com. He'd already submitted reports, just waiting for our signal to escalate. My lawyer, Gary Chen, who'd done free consultation after Karen tried to fine him for his ethnically inappropriate koi pond, laid out our legal strategy with the precision of a military campaign. We filed the CAMB records request first, forced them to produce everything. Then we hit them with the survey discrepancy, the financial audit demand, and the compilation of false reports to agencies. Death by 1,000 paper cuts, all perfectly legal. He'd already drafted 17 different motions, each one a torpedo aimed at Karen's hull. The best part? CAMB bylaws required them to pay legal fees for any member request that uncovered board malfeasance. The technical preparation consumed our nights. We installed hidden cameras at strategic points, all on private property, all perfectly legal, creating a surveillance network that would make casinos jealous. The Johnsons wrote a program that synced all footage to timestamps, creating an indisputable record of Karen's movements. Rodrigo contributed GPS trackers for the tow trucks, ensuring perfect documentation of the route from Gala to impound. If she claims we damaged her car or took anything, we'll have video from 16 angles proving otherwise, he explained, installing his 7th dash cam. Dad turned our operation into a military exercise, complete with code names and synchronized watches. He'd rallied 5 other veterans from the VA center, all of whom had stories about Karen's harassment. Operation Tau Freedom, he called it, sketching attack plans like he was back in tactical ops. When that Mercedes gets hooked, I want everyone with a camera phone recording. Multiple angles, undeniable evidence. Deborah, despite bed rest orders, became our intelligence analyst. Look at this pattern, she said. Laptop balanced on her pregnant belly, showing charts that looked like something from FBI headquarters. Karen's violations cluster around the 1st and 15th paydays. She's using fines as income supplements. She'd identified 23 households hit with suspicious fines, right before Karen's mortgage payments were due. It's a shakedown racket disguised as community standards. Her teacher's instinct for organization had created a database that would make prosecutors weep with joy. The printer in my garage ran hot enough to warm the room, churning out evidence packets that would paper the walls of a courtroom. 3 nights before the gala, we held our final strategy meeting. 43 people crammed into my garage, which now smelled like justice and determination. Remember, I addressed the group. Everything we do is legal, documented, and justified. We're not vigilantes. We're citizens enforcing our own bylaws when our president won't. When that tow truck arrives, I want calm, legal, peaceful observation. Let Karen be the one who loses control, and she will. The room buzzed with anticipation, like electricity before lightning. Everyone knew their role, their position, their timing. We turned Karen's weapon against her. Organization, documentation, and ruthless adherence to rules. The gala was in 72 hours. The trap was set with Swiss watch precision. Karen thought she was attending her annual coronation. Instead, she'd be the star of her own public execution, directed by the people she'd terrorized, produced by the laws she'd written, and broadcast to everyone who mattered. Rodrigo had already cleared his schedule, his best driver on standby, the truck polished until it gleamed like justice itself. We were ready. Karen just didn't know it yet. Karen must have sensed danger. The way animals smell earthquakes, because 3 days before the gala she launched a desperation offensive that would have impressed Patton. It started when I found my truck on blocks, all 4 tires slashed with surgical precision. The security footage showed a figure in black at 3 a.m., but conveniently, spray paint had covered 3 of my 4 cameras just minutes before. The 4th camera, hidden in a birdhouse Deborah made at summer camp 20 years ago, captured everything in crystal clarity, including Karen's distinctive French manicure gripping the knife. She's escalating, Dad observed, examining the damage like a crime scene investigator. Seen this in combat. When rats get cornered, they attack. The replacement tires cost $1,200, but the insurance claim would be interesting. How do you explain your CAMB president commits felony vandalism? Then came the call from my biggest client. Marcus, I'm sorry, but we're going with another contractor. Someone sent us disturbing information about your business practices. The disturbing information was an anonymous blog called The Truth About Castellano Construction, complete with photoshopped images suggesting code violations and safety hazards that didn't exist. The blog was hosted on the CAMB's official website server, a detail Karen apparently forgot while committing cyber defamation. The Johnsons traced the IP address to CAMB board meetings, time-stamped to when Karen would have been present. She'd literally defamed me using CAMB resources during official meetings, adding wire fraud to her growing collection of felonies. The real shock came when 5 more clients called within 2 days, all canceling contracts worth over $200,000 total. She was trying to bankrupt me before the gala. Rodrigo called Wednesday night, voice tight with controlled anger. Someone offered me $5,000 to refuse any tow calls from Pine Valley Estates this weekend. Cash, untraceable, very professional. He'd recorded the entire conversation on his phone, including the part where the caller mentioned consequences if he didn't comply. Thing is, hermano, they called from the CAMB office line. Caller ID doesn't lie. We added witness tampering and bribery to Karen's rap sheet, which was starting to look like a criminal justice textbook. The pressure was mounting, but so was our resolve. Gala night arrived under a sky heavy with the promise of thunder. Karen arrived as Sue, nul sharp, stepping from her white Mercedes like Cleopatra descending from her barge, unaware that the barge sat on common property, and the Nile was about to run red with legal consequences. The crowd parted for her, real estate clients fawning, local reporters snapping photos of the CAMB queen in her element. She was flawless until the first witness arrived. I positioned myself near the valet stand, looking every bit the successful contractor in my best suit, blending into the crowd while keeping eyes on her car. The tow truck was on standby 3 blocks away, Rodrigo's best driver behind the wheel, listening to police scanner and our coded updates. At 7:23 p.m., our first witness arrived. Ethel Morrison, looking every bit the harmless grandmother in lavender and pearls. She approached Karen with a plate of her famous zucchini bread, playing the role to perfection. "Karen, dear, you look stunning," Ethel cooed, her voice dripping with practiced sincerity. While Karen preened, Ethel pressed a hidden button on her pearl necklace, activating her lapel microphone. "Oh, Ethel, you're too kind," Karen replied, accepting the bread with a practiced smile. "And how are those lovely grandchildren?" Ethel launched into a story about little Timmy's kindergarten troubles, drawing Karen in like a spider spinning silk around a fly. "You know how it is with boys," Karen commiserated, always pushing boundaries. Ethel waited for the perfect moment, then delivered the kill shot. "Speaking of boundaries, I heard something disturbing about your parking habits. The CAMB president parking illegally?" Karen's practiced smile froze like a computer glitching. "What are you talking about?" She laughed. "Too loud, too long." Ethel's expression didn't change, but her voice dropped to conspiracy whisper. "The fire lane at the community center, the handicap spot at the pool, and that survey error on your driveway, it's common property, you know." Karen's face went the color of spoiled milk. "You're mistaken," she hissed, eyes darting for escape. Ethel's smile never wavered. "Oh, I have photos if you'd like to see." The trap was sprung. Karen's facade shattered like cheap crystal as Ethel's words hit their mark. Around her, the crowd's pleasant chatter began to die as heads turned toward the unfolding drama. Our other witnesses were positioning themselves strategically jaw patel near the reporters. The Johnsons by the exit with their phones ready. The veterans forming a quiet honor guard. The trap closed. Karen tried to laugh it off, but Ethel was relentless, pulling out her phone with photos timestamped to perfection. "This one from last week's board meeting," Ethel said calmly, showing Karen's Mercedes in the fire lane, timestamp 7:15 p.m. The crowd gasped as the image appeared, clear as day. Karen's white Mercedes with its "Rules for Me" vanity plate blocking the fire lane. Her vanity plate, "Rules for Me," glared like a neon sign of hypocrisy. Ethel had more. The handicap spot, the expired tags, the survey error proving the driveway was common property. Karen's empire crumbled before our eyes as Ethel's quiet voice exposed years of fraud and abuse. The reporters, sensing blood, swarmed as Ethel continued her relentless documentation. At 8:15 p.m., as Karen tried to flee to her car, the tow truck arrived exactly on schedule. Rodrigo's driver, a mountain of a man named Carlos, stepped out with the calm authority of someone executing a court order. "Ma'am, This vehicle is in violation of Arizona Statute 28 to 4842, subsection D, parked on common property with suspended registration. It will be towed under CAMB Policy 47C, paragraph 9. You have 30 seconds to remove valuables. The crowd's murmurs turned to gasps as Carlos approached the Mercedes with professional detachment. Karen's scream pierced the night like a siren announcing her own downfall. "You can't do this. I'm the president. I make the rules." Carlos didn't flinch. "Ma'am, the rules say exactly what I'm doing. Sign here acknowledging the tow." The hook engaged with a mechanical whine that sounded like Karma's victory cry. The Mercedes lifted from the pavement, her throne rising toward the stars before its fall. The crowd's silence was deafening as Carlos secured the load and drove away, her empire's foundation towed into the night. But the real hammer fell when Richard Stanton arrived, his face a mask of resignation and disgust. He'd been her silent partner for years, but the evidence package I'd sent anonymously had broken the last straw. "Karen," he said quietly, "the board's calling an emergency meeting. Your presidency ends tonight." The reporters swarmed as Richard handed her divorce papers right there on the gala floor. Her empire, built on intimidation and fraud, collapsed in 15 minutes flat. The tow truck disappeared into the night with her $80,000 symbol of power, while she stood on the gala floor, alone and exposed. And wait till you hear what her own husband did when he found out. What would you do if your CAMB president turned your life into a living hell? Drop your worst CAMB nightmare below. I'm collecting stories for my lawyer. Where are you watching from? Texas? Florida? Because if you've gotten CAMB, you need to know the 3 laws I used to destroy Karen completely legally.
Trust me, after 47 blocked driveways, revenge served ice cold tastes even better than you imagine. Let me paint you a picture of how this suburban war started. Because Karen Whitmore Stanton didn't just stumble into my life. She precision targeted it like a heat-seeking missile aimed at happiness.